Are you ready? Let's go. He says that he's outsmarted a couple of trainers. Welcome to Animal News. I'm Joan Ranquet, your host and animal communicator, and this is my co-host, Olivia. Today we're going to go to South Florida and talk to a few animals down there, and we also have a wonderful segment in for the Animal Kingdom from Katie Merrick at the Second Chance Ranch. And I can see that Olivia's ready to go get some stories of her own. Go on, Olivia. So, let's get to the animal headlines. This is just in from the United Animal Nations. The UAN has commended the U.S. Senate for unanimously passing a measure that will save both human and animal lives the next time disaster strikes. The PETS, Evacuation and Transportation Standards Act, requires state and local agencies to include provisions for people with pets or service animals to safely evacuate should disaster hit. Also, this is in from the Humane Society. Today is a truly historic day for the seals. On September 6th, the European Parliament adopted a resolution calling upon the European Commission, the executive body of the European Union, to ban all harp and hooded seal products. This is a crucial step toward the passage of legislation that will save millions of seals from a horrible fate. At some point, we all will learn to live here together without having to dominate everyone else, won't we? Anyway, we are going to go to South Florida, to Davie, Florida, actually, and visit Michelle and talk to her 21-year-old draft cross named Delilah and see how she's overcoming her recent tragedy. Delilah says she's very smart. Is she smart?
Oh, yeah.
She says she's done lots of different things, but in the last 3 years, you guys have been winding down a bit in terms of your activity. Mm-hmm. Have you slowed down in the last 3 years?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
We've done some moving from, to a few different states over the past few years, too, and, so it's gotten a little hectic over the few years to spend time with her.
She said this was going to be a big year because she thought the baby that she lost had the perfect right breeding. And
mm-hmm. Yeah, I was very excited about this baby that was coming.
Yeah. So was she. And it's interesting that she turned around at this point talking about the baby. She said that this baby wasn't born as strong as some of her other babies. Did you feel like the baby was weaker from the beginning?
Yes. I had shown up here right after the baby had been born, and I noticed right away that there was some things, from the birth that were not normal, with the baby having a lot of weakness in the feet, the placenta and umbilical cord, everything, nothing was normal. So, and I knew there was a problem as soon as I seen all of that.
She knew too, and it was very sad. She said she really kept trying with the baby, and then it's almost as if, not like she distanced herself, but there was a certain point on that last, 6 hours that she just knew that the baby wasn't going to make it. She said she mourned for a while.
Yeah.
It seemed like weeks. Maybe longer. Did you? She said you were very worried about her.
Yeah, we were pretty worried.
She said she was worried about me as the baby's health slid. And she said you had a lot of people gathered to help.
Oh, God, yeah, we had everybody here.
Yeah, it seems like it was a crowd.
We had some sleepless nights, spent in the stall there, and a lot of people coming out to help and bringing something to eat and things like that. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, she appreciated it, even though, I don't know, it seems like she got more distant and really kind of went within herself at that point. Do you have any questions for her?
Why doesn't she like her granddaughter? She hates her granddaughter.
Okay, who's her granddaughter?
Lily.
Okay. What's the mother's name?
The mother's name was Grace.
Okay. The sense I get is that Grace was a very good horse and still is a good horse, and Grace is graceful and is not as spoiled as Lily is. She thinks that Lily is thinks she can do anything and doesn't have any graciousness, so to speak. Is Lily
No.
bold?
Yeah, from the time that she was born, because she was born out here, she would just walk away from Mom. Mom would be all the way at the back of their paddock, and Lily would come up to the front and just walk. I mean, she's very bold and wanting to come and see people.
And that to her is just unacceptable.
Oh, okay.
Like you have to move into, you you earn the right to join the rest of the herd without your mother. Or, she's just she likes playing by the rules.
Okay.
And Lily breaks every one. And now we're going to get a dog's eye view from our dog correspondent, who's actually a dog.
Hey, Humpty. We're coming up on Central Park. You ready to go to daycare? You can have a good time at daycare. This way, Humpty. Yeah, I know. Somebody's... Okay. Humpty's here to play. Humpty! Oh my goodness! Oh, he's a good boy.
He doesn't want to do it. Ivan! Coming up with sandwich.
Oh, I know you want treats. Did he get a cookie? Yeah. Okay.
Scorecard?
Yes. Oh, he was a good boy today. You had fun playing, didn't you? He was a good boy. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Come on, we're gonna go home now. I know you're all worn out.
Welcome back. Now we're going to go to Fort Lauderdale and meet Bonnie and her two cats, Bailey and Madison. Bailey and Madison are 9. She's had them for about 8 years. And in that 8 years, she's been through quite a journey in her life, and so have the cats. Let's go see how the cats are doing now. Well, she says that in a lot of ways she's very like you, that she has not an aggressive side, but I'm not taking this side.
Strong side,
yeah.
Yes.
And that some people might perceive as aggressive, but not aggressive, but just very strong, clear, and yet completely loving. So in that way, she thinks she's identical to you. She said also the difference between you, though, is that she can be a little moodier than you, and that she can kind of run the household with her moods. Again, that inner strength of I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Is that how you run your business?
Yes, that's exactly how I am.
Yeah. And she thinks that what you are doing is very important in the world, the work that you're doing. She says you need to chronicle it more now. Are you doing a book? Or a video or something?
No, I've had thoughts, a lot of thoughts on... and when we went to North Carolina, the reason was to write.
It's always good to have instructions from your animals. Bailey says you have to crown it. You should put that on your fridge. This has been the place where you're kind of maybe revamping the rest of your life, reconfiguring. All right, and so with Madison, little Miss Thing, she says she loves to entertain, and everyone loves her, and everyone thinks she's beautiful. But aside from being... And she also said that when she moves, she's very graceful. Like, she thinks she's much more graceful than Bailey.
She sleeps like this.
Yeah. Little everything's...
Chrissy.
Yeah. But she says, aside from being graceful, she's very smart. And that people don't always pick up on how smart she is. And also, have you been seeing someone lately?
Yeah.
She said, why hasn't Bonnie decided about this guy? Are you still on the fence about him?
He's on the fence with his own issues.
I think she likes having the male energy around.
She loves men.
Yeah, she's a flirt.
Right, exactly. I have a question. Do they like each other?
Yeah, that was actually kind of an interesting thing. Madison sees Bailey as being not short-tempered, but the moody thing. And I think when you're not around, they're probably really happy to have each other. I mean, I get the sense that Bailey almost did better with, you know what, she almost in some respects sees herself as the only cat, and then there's Madison.
I'm Chris Bennings, your equine correspondent in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with your horse tip for today. When choosing a horse in discipline, don't let breed or previous experience determine what discipline you ride. Venture outside with the different breeds and different disciplines and find a horse that really enjoys his job. Keep that in mind and you'll have a great ride every time.
Welcome back. Now we're going to go down to Fort Lauderdale to Central Bark Doggy Daycare and meet Julian and his dog Mimi. Julian's had Mimi for about 6 months, and in that short 6 months they've truly bonded. Let's go meet Mimi. She just kept telling me repeatedly that she is precious. She is very precious. I'm very precious. Julian thinks I'm precious.
She is.
And she also said that she's very grounding for you. Puts your feet right on the ground. And she likes to be actually like where she is literally. Does she sit there a lot? Mm-hmm. She literally likes to be on your heart.
Yes, she sleeps with me right there.
Right, yeah. She said literally, the sense I have to be on his heart for love. She feels like you saved her.
Well, actually, the lady that brought her here had tried, had brought dogs for me to adopt, and I was like, no, when I see the dog, I'll know. I'll know when my dog comes to me. And she literally, when she came walking in with this dog, I was like, that's my dog. I didn't even know if it was a foster dog. I just said, that's my dog.
And then there's some days that she just kind of, it's sort of like if she feels like it, she's just going to be shy.
Very much so.
And it's an act. It's an act.
Is it? Because
yeah. She gets a lot of mileage.
She's kind of a welcome person, the doggy here. And then some days she'll be very welcoming, and other days she looks at them like,
whatever.
Yeah, can't be bothered. And these are the same customers, and they're like, what's up with that? Like,
is your roommate loud? Like when he talks on the phone? Yeah, she thinks he could be quiet.
Yeah, he's loud. Well, when he speaks, he's loud. When he's on the cell phone, he's loud.
Yeah, especially on the phone, it seems like she's like, oh, shut
he's
up.
One of those people that for some reason he thinks we have the old cell phones, you have to yell.
Yeah.
As opposed to just talking on the cell phone.
Yeah, so I want the roommate to just learn to be quiet. She likes Rocco in a funny way. It's like he tries to tell me what to do, and sometimes I do it, but most times I just blow him off. Mm-hmm. It feels like she's really in her little personality coming into her own. Like more and more layers of her are being revealed. Like, I mean, you knew who she was right away. Like, oh, this is my dog. But there's, it just seems like the more safe she is, the more loved she is, the more Mimi comes out. She sees you as being very important in the world. Did you put on a tie recently? She thought that was pretty cool, that you look fancy.
Because I never put ties on.
Yeah. So she's like, oh, he dresses up lately. She sees you as very much a love. And she sees that you, I don't know, she's just sees that you are love, that it's not something you have to go look for. That's what she wants you to know. And she says you have a million plates spinning in the air right now with some other ideas, not necessarily work, and I don't know if it's home, but that like they're about to, that you're just right on the brink of something just going, whew, okay, this is what I'm doing now.
She is precious, though, isn't she?
She's so precious.
She is the best dog in the world.
And now we're going to get a word from our crazy cat guy, Dustin.
Thanks, Joan. It's Dustin the cat guy here in Bluffton, South Carolina again. Did you know that when you declaw your cat, you don't just take the claws, but you also take the first knuckle? It's more like an amputation.
Thanks, Dustin, and I'll have to get the number of your decorator. Today we're going into the animal kingdom. We're actually going to go to Washington State, where we had a tape sent in from Katie Merrick from Second Chance Ranch. Second Chance Ranch is actually a rehab center for injured animals, and we're going to go take a look at the recovery that Jet made. Jet was a racehorse at the Portland Meadows and Emerald Downs, and he had broken his leg in 5 places, similar breaks to that of Barbaro in the Kentucky Derby. But we're going to see just what a miraculous recovery Jet has had.
Hi, my name is Katie Merwick with Second Chance Ranch in Elma, Washington. We do sport horse rehabilitation, and because we're located between 2 racetracks in Washington and Oregon, we primarily take in racehorses. And I want to introduce you to a really special horse today. His name is SeaTac Jet. He's 6 years old, thoroughbred. He raced in Washington and Oregon. His career was ended when he broke his leg in 5 places, 5 breaks to the same leg. It didn't happen in one race. Some of these fractures were really old, so we think that he was probably blocked and continued running. Hi, Jet. The thing about Jet is, there's a lot of controversy on, at what point do you give up? But Jet was a real fighter and a survivor, and he wanted to go the long haul. He really wanted to conquer this. It would be the longest race of his life, but he was in for the long haul, so we went ahead and gave it a shot. About 6 months into his rehab, he became very despondent, depressed, even aggressive. He had just kind of given up. So I called you to see what was going on with Jet and what we could do to make things better. And because there was some progress in his leg. So Jet, it turned out, per your conversation with him, that he had 2 issues. One was that the neighboring horses in the stalls next to him were these really fancy dressage jumping horses, and they didn't know who he was. They weren't giving him any respect. They were basically just saying, never heard of you. And at the track, he was the big man on campus. Everybody knew this horse. He was very successful, very good, and so that made him mad. Now, laugh if you might about that, but we moved those warm bloods to the other end of the barn and surrounded Jet with other crippled racehorses. And the amazing thing is that not only did Jet's attitude change immediately and significantly, the other horses started to mend faster and have better attitudes. So the other issue was that Jet was a competitive horse, hi sweetheart, that always needed goals and a finish line. So we did that for Jet. Per your recommendation, we made a calendar. And we said, here's the finish line, and if you can stay quiet for 1 month and not bang your leg on the wall and not have temper tantrums, we'll move you to a bigger stall. And it worked. His leg got better, he was quieter, his attitude improved, so we moved him to a bigger stall. In fact, we built a barn for Jet, and during that month, he got to watch us build it every day. and he knew that it was for him. We gave him awards every week. And then we set another milestone for Jet, and we said, okay, from the bigger stall you can have a round pen. And the final phase would be out to pasture, but you have to be good and you have to stay quiet. And so Jet has continued to heal. We have seen probably a good year's worth of progress of healing on that leg in just 3 months. It just, everything changed. And I really believe that understanding Jet's needs and his thoughts and having someone talk to him and encourage him, someone who could actually connect to him, made a big difference. Okay, Jet's doing a trick for you. This is his lion face. I should have never taught him this, but watch. Okay, Jet, what's a lion say? Roar! Roar! Yeah, roar! You're a ferocious warrior lion, aren't you? Roar! Roar! I should have taught him just to smile.
Thank you for joining us at Animal News, and blessings to you and all the species in your family, and don't forget to bless Mother Earth. See you next week.